This episode is sponsored by HarderStripesClothing.com. If you want clean, rugged gear that looks good on camera and in real life, go check them out at HarderStripesClothing.com. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Shyt Talkin Time, where we talk the shit, but we don't turn into rumor interns for the algorithm. Real quick, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with one person who always got breaking news with zero sources. Help the channel grow and help your friend grow too. All right, today we got two lanes. Lil Durk legal updates, strictly what's been reported, filed, and scheduled. Gas prices going crazy, why it's rising, and when it might chill out. And before anybody gets dramatic, I'm not a lawyer, this isn't legal advice, and everything in court is alleged until proven. We're talking timelines and publicly reported moves, period. Lil Durk updates what's actually confirmed. First thing, the trial date pushback. Multiple major outlets have reported that Lil Durk's federal murder for hire case has been pushed into August 2026, and that the judge denied severance, meaning co-defendants don't get separate trials, at least per the reporting on that decision. Now, here's where people get confused online. You'll see different posts floating around with different dates, like August 20 versus August 25. That usually happens because the schedule can shift or different coverage captures different filing settings. The big takeaway is consistent. It's in August now, and it's been delayed multiple times. Second, Brian Steele joining the defense. This has been reported by Billboard Complex. Brian Steele filed to join Durk's defense team, and coverage says has joined depending on timing of the report. That's a real update, not a blog rumor. Now, the Chicago, AJ, and Marley April court part you asked me to include. Here's the clean way to say it without spreading misinformation. There is a separate federal murder for hire case in Chicago involving the killing of Stefan Mack, and two men, Anthony A.J. Montgomery Wilson and Preston Marley Powell, were charged in that case, Northern District of Illinois. That part is real and documented in DOJ press materials. There has also been legitimate reporting that prosecutors have linked Lil Durk to a second alleged murder for hire plot connected to the Stefan Mack killing, but that does not automatically mean he's been charged in that Chicago case. The reporting is that prosecutors have alleged connections and referenced it in arguments, not that a separate Durk Chicago trial is already set. What I can't confirm from reputable sources right now is the specific claim that he's being brought back to Chicago in April for court on the A.J. Marley matter. I'm seeing a lot of online talk, but I'm not seeing a clean mainstream court calendar confirmation that says Durk will be transported to Chicago in April for that case. So I'm not going to state that like it's a fact. What is worth saying though? Earlier reporting had Durk's federal case scheduled for April before the later push to August, and there was chatter and coverage about timelines changing depending on motions like severance. That's different from Chicago April court. So the honest update is Durk's main federal murder for hire case by August 2026 reported. Judge denying severance, one reported. Brian Steele joining the defense team, defense reported. A.J. Marley Chicago case exists, plus DOJ has documented charges in that case. Prosecutors have referenced a second alleged plot in arguments reporting. Durk transported to Chicago in April, not confirmed in the credible sources I pulled today, so I'm not presenting it as fact. And this is why Shyt Talkin Time exists, because the internet will take prosecutors mention Chicago and turn it into he's back in Chicago next week wearing orange on camera. Now, let's talk about the part nobody likes but everybody needs, delays. People see trial delayed and act like it's automatically good or automatically bad. Court delays happen for a million reasons: discovery, motions, scheduling, co-defendants, evidence volume. It's not an album rollout. There is no surprise drop in federal court. So if you're a fan, the best thing you can do is stop letting random pages emotionally whiplash you every 18 hours. Wait for real filings, real reporting, real dates. Quick Shyt talk and take with respect. The culture is in a weird place right now because fans treat cases like sports, like it's Team Durk versus team prosecutors. No, this is real life, real consequences, real families. You can support somebody and still be mature enough to wait for facts. Now, let's pivot to the other thing punching everybody in the wallet: gas prices. Why gas is rising right now? Gas has been rising hard, and the major driver being reported is global oil supply disruption tied to the war involving Iran, including major concerns around or disruption to shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, which is one of the most important choke points for global oil shipments. When oil prices jump over $100 a barrel, your gas station does not say thoughts and prayers. Your gas station says, "That'll be 82. Do you want a receipt or more pain?" Reuters and others have reported U.S. average gas prices crossing $4 a gallon again for the first time since 2022, tied to that oil spike and supply fears. And it's not just the headline number. Diesel rising matters because diesel touches everything: shipping, groceries, deliveries. That's why when diesel spikes, everybody's price tags start acting possessed. There are also normal seasonal factors that can add pressure, like refineries switching blends for warmer months, refinery capacity constraints, and regional tax regulatory differences. Some government actions being discussed or reported are things like easing certain seasonal fuel rules to increase supply and shave a few cents off. So the short version is war push shipping disruption plus oil price spike, world gas goes up, diesel spikes, and everything feels more expensive. Seasonal blend, refinery policy tweaks can nudge the price, but they don't solve the big driver if the conflict stays hot. When could it stop rising? The most honest answer is it depends on the conflict and shipping routes. But we do have a real forecast signal. Reporting citing EIA outlook suggests gas prices may be near their peak and could moderate as conditions normalize and shipping resumes, with the idea that April 2026 could be a turning point if transit through the region gradually resumes. That doesn't mean prices snap back to 250 overnight. It means the rate of increase can slow and the average can drift down, assuming supply routes stabilize and the market calms down. A simple way to think about it: if the conflict drags on and supply remains disrupted, prices can stay high or climb. If transit resumes and oil markets cool, you can see easing, potentially starting as early as April and into the rest of 2026. And yes, lawmakers are floating things like gas tax holidays, but even those come with trade-offs and don't guarantee full savings hit consumers. Wrap up in the comment bait. So today's scoreboard: Lil Durk. Trial pushed to August 2026, reported. Severance denied, reported. Brian Steele joining defense team, reported. AJ Marley Chicago murder for hire case exists and is documented. Prosecutors have linked Durk to a second alleged plot and reporting, but I'm not seeing a credible confirmation of Durk transported to Chicago in April as a fact today. Gas prices up because oil's up and supply fears are up, heavily tied to the Iran conflict and shipping disruption. Potential moderation depends on whether shipping transit resumes and the conflict cools. Some forecasts point to easing after April and through 2026 if conditions normalize. Now hit the comments. What's stressing you more right now? A, gas prices. B, groceries. C, rent. Pick one letter. No essays. This episode is sponsored by harderstripesclothing.com. Go check them out at harderstripesclothing.com. And again, like, subscribe, and share so the channel can grow.